Alright, let's get everything sorted and see if OBS freaks the heck out in its first, like, 30 seconds, but looks like we're good. Let's just hope that maintains itself. I think we're okay. And everything should fall into place. Let me just check on everything else. We should be good. Okay. Alright. Alright, no, we should be good. Alright, guys, sorry, there's been a lot I've been trying to set up for today. I've had a lot of more utility-style jobs to do between editing footage and getting some other little panels going, but I'll wait till I see some of you guys show up, and in the meantime, let me go ahead and remake my phone case and little displays and everything to make sure we're good to go for today. How you doing, Ham? But we have today's OFCRA PvP match commentary stream, and then we've got POG tonight, which I will be announcing in my Discord soon enough for immediate slotting, and then I gotta work on finishing a Pay for Pain duck, which, you know, I always say I'm gonna be working on something like that, right? Well, tax season is due soon, so it's kind of make or break at this point, and then we gotta get forward with everything, but yeah, c'est la vie. A lot of interesting. I love how I get a hydrate just as I'm hydrating. It's perfectly timed. But we got Blue 4 starting up north, Op 4 all the way down here. We have some different markers there with everything. I can't seem to toggle them. And we've got a few people getting... Actually, I think it's the same guy has Vet Unflipping, which is a vehicle flip mod, in case you flip it on the side, set up here. But we have a multitude of objectives. But my wrist is better. I can bend it about, I want to say 80% of the way that I can normally. You know, if this is flat, let's say, I can bend it down, and there's still, I want to say, 50 or 60 degrees that I can't straighten it out on completely. And then I still can't put that much weight on it, but at least I can lift my phone up with that hand now, which is great, because that means I can work on my phone and reply to people's DMs and whatnot, which is great on that end, but... yeah, nonetheless, we'll see how things go. I've just been working on a lot of smaller stuff. I got the D goal updated, so we will be doing the Star Trek stuff. I'll try to do some dev work tonight. It's just last night, Bloodway and I were watching the Fallout, the first episode of the season, and no spoilers on it. It looks good. It's just going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be really, really good, or it's going to drop off somewhere halfway in the middle. I'm going to be pissed off, but hey, we'll see how things go. Not Star Trek Fallout, but yeah. I want to get off the topic because I want to avoid spoilers, so we'll see how things go. So less one-arm bandit. Well, I mean, I still am, but I should be able to fully do everything, honestly, by today, that I used to be able to do. I don't get any strain anymore. I was feeling a little bit after the second stream last night, but again, I should be fine for the most part. I haven't had the need to put it in its brace today, so that's been great. But enough about me. Let's go ahead and go over the scenario today, and then we have a few crazy announcements to go over. So otherwise, this is going to be Blue 4 Australian forces versus Op 4 Austrian forces. Let me go ahead and put the prediction up for you guys. So we're going to go ahead, tab it over to an OFCRA match. Blue 4 is Australian, and Op 4 is Austria. Just make sure I got these spelled correctly. We'll set it for 15 minutes, and we'll go ahead and get that started. Now, they're going in 1 minute, 30 seconds, so there might be a little bit of time after the betting, or the round officially begins for you guys to get your bets in. That is A-okay, but let me go ahead and read off what is going on. This is the early 1970s. The Australians have had enough. They are sick and tired of people confusing Austria and Australia. We are distinct nations, an Austrian official claimed in a press conference in Sydney. Those Austrians and their stupid mountains won't know what hit them. Austria is here to prove their superiority against the Australian nation and finally unite both people under a single name, Australia. They're just screwing with the nameplay at this point. I love it. In order to achieve this, the Australian Prime Minister has ordered the Australian Army Chief of Staff to prepare a plan of invasion of Australia. To achieve this, the Austrians have decided to pull out early from the disastrous war in Vietnam that has already claimed thousands of Australian lives for the sake of American imperial dreams. Instead, those troops will be redirected straight to Australia, where the Australians hope to squash the neutral nation's army in a flash. But they word it as Australia, and there's no Austria, just Australia. And the Australians have sent a bunch of infiltrators who have mixed with the local Austrian people in order to sow discord and confuse the local population, of which Aus nation they are a part of. And at the end of it all, people around the world will know only of one great Aus nation, Austria. Or was it Australia? God damn. All right. Here's how points work. Hold the village. Village is marked in purple. Whoever holds this village by the end of the round will gain 3 points. There is an important box to secure. Whoever secures this box by... it unlocks after the 40-minute mark, so whoever secures it after then will gain an additional 3 points. Don't know if that has to be held by the end or whichever nation has control of it during the operation. Let me read over the information that is critical. Any marked slots, riflemen / gun plus ammo also have access to deployable sandbags. The important box can only be secured after the 40-minute mark of the game. The important box can be secured only by the side leader in 2IC. Blue 4 helicopters unlock after 30 minutes. Yes, I double-checked this time. Pilots from both sides are bound to Rambo rules with side leader in 2IC only when not flying. It is forbidden to move the infiltrators from their starting position, so these guys have to basically stay where they are. They've got the cap zone marked. The important box is just the standard cargo crate that I use for my arsenals and my ops. Say la vie. But Blue 4, let's see. Save both southern infiltrators, save both Nistog infiltrators, which I believe are these two, and then save the smaller Smorklim operators 5 and 6. And then if OFCRA kills both, they get points. Okay. But it's in 3-point combos. The freaking random meows there. But regardless, so basically if OFCRA kill both of these two units, they get a point. They kill both of these two units, they get a point. They kill both of those two units, they get a point. Whoever controls the cap zone by the end will gain 3 points, and then whoever secures the important box by the 40-minute mark has to be commander or 2IC, they get 3 points. So total 9 minutes, excuse me, not mine, yeah, 9 points in play. I'm confusing myself, guys, I apologize. And that is where the operations are going to go. Ivno also shot me a DM. I am assuming, yep, that is his multi, so give me 1 second to tab out and get his information added. Awesome. All right. Let's go ahead and look at our operation here. So we're going to be starting with Op 4 since we're already on the Op 4 side down here. So these, I believe, are going to be the Austrian forces. So these are 1970s themes. So we've got AUGs, we've got MG3s. I saw some MP40s in play, some FNFALs. We got some Car 98s with bolt action. It's a bolt action rifle, but it's got a scope. And that is, I'm seeing some scoped FALs as well. The AUGs also have the built-in scope, which is nice. But let's see, launchers, we got some MOZs in play, so we got some LR radios in play as well. All right, that is quite nice. They have a C-47 Skytrain in play here, and then their transport vehicles appear to be only transport trucks. We do have some 50 cal transport trucks as well. That is quite nice. Looking over, we've got Fawn's commanding with Ratpick as his 2IC, and I'll do the rest of the name reading after I go over Blue 4, and we go over their weaponry and get everything down. Now, Blue 4 are our Australian forces, so those Anzac elements are probably going to be having L1A1s that are scoped, M16A1s. We got some Brens, which it's not a Bren. I think it's the L2A1, which is just has that same top of the mag feature with the bipod up front for their light machine gun. We do see some handguns in play. We've got some Lee Enfields as well, some scoped Lee Enfields. We got some M72 Laws in play as well. Their medics are clearly marked. They also have MG3s in play for their machine gunner roles rather than auto riflemen.
Our job is to just find within that circle, on the left hand of the circle.
And they're holding their briefs at the moment. All right. That appears to be a majority of their weaponry. We do have a pair of pilots here. We've got some Willys Jeeps with 50 cals on them, some transport Willys Jeeps, and then a lot of transport trucks, but no armed truck transports. However, we do have an Iroquois UH-1, but no guns on the side, so that's going to purely be for reconnaissance because it doesn't have any weaponry nor camera feed, so that'll probably be flying around later. Otherwise, looking around at our cap zone, it's pretty much this open area here. I've partaken in so many different battles for that AO, be it in World War II scenarios, even some Star Wars ones. And then the box is somewhere over here. I'm not going to go hunting for it because I think it's... Oh, well, I already found it, but... It sticks out really easily, so that's probably what aircraft are going to be focusing on trying to find is that damn box. But regardless... Let's go ahead and name off our players here. So we got Snodgy Pear, Fallon, Mad Trey, Pierce, Rodrigan, Conk, and Alpha 1-2, Alpha 1-3 as Settler, Geralt, Giroux Fox, Dufraw, that would be it. Zephyr, Wojak, Montes, Adricep, and Speed, NASA, Edzek, Adam, Cito, Gregory, Abate, Depso and Timek, Oddball, Do It Son, Killer J, Postal, Whiteside, Watts, and Barixie, Kevin, Kermit, Dennis, Cheeseburger, Callie, Barros, Michael, and KF Cats, Mr. White, Jonathan, Mancho, Azanor. I see 113s. Okay, so there's some hidden oh my god, there are hidden 113s. So they've got some 240s and a single 50 cal mounted on top of 4 M113 transports. That is quite nice to see. But continuing on. Azanor, Risbo, Delta, Sta, and Emil, Newton, Vincenzo, Iceman, Pizzelle, Toxic, Dava, Espaghetti, and Diego, Loose, Short, Ryan, Raven, Eric, Andre, hiccup there, Dewitson, and Sam, Wikicorts, Wiktorts, Averlon, Templar, Damien, Skipu, and Snobus, Maxek, Marty, Catboy, Teco, Stifu, Giovanni, Alner 25, 26 has.
Names LCPL
I know it is. We're literally listing out about 155 players right now. I'll tab out after I finish the Op 4 list to verify. But Frisks, thanks for the 31-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Last Op 4 group has Solomon's Heart, Mozquit, Flip for Flat, Arthiak, Jack, Rick Hunter, Super Pogo _, and Germa. Scrolling all the way up to Blue 4 now. Let's go ahead and tab out, verify how many players we have. We are currently up to 156 on TeamSpeak. So that is me in the spectator role and then 155 people playing. That is classic OFCRA numbers there. But regardless, let's get hit Blue 4 before the timer runs out. Wombat commanding Sam as the 2IC, Alexander as the 3IC. Also looks like Command have Sterling SMGs. What's the weapon of choice for these guys? AUGs for Op 4 Command, and then an MP40. Ha! Otherwise, Alpha 1-2 for Blue 4 has Phobos, Borebel, that's it. Krieg and Spirit. Alpha 1-3 has Pro Hunter, Gene Cop, Jasper, Gogu, Artur, Crazy, Cameron, and Pi. Alpha 1-4 has Roy DeCamper, Swola, Lolo, Wonder, Misano, Mr. Cool, Sky Online, and Zixme. Alpha 1-5 has Garrett Hawk, Mr. Dave, Nobis, Ash, Rigel, PHK, Bluckazog, Parthius, Demover, and Tackleberry. Alpha 2-1 has Quines, Lasergolf. You know when I don't recognize the people when I butcher their names. Natha, Alectrex, Winter, Perizel, Krebs, and Bravo. Alpha 2-2 has Langfell, 23rd PZD, which I think is actually their group, so shoot. I'm going to say Staub. Herman, Fush, Henderson, Weiss, and Bauer. I'm trying not to pronounce their ranks because I feel like the ranks are in front and they've got the numbering on the back, so pardon me. Oh, they got shotguns too. Ha! Nice. We've got Wilk, Herzog, Willie, Rickchen, No, it's Richt. Yeah, it's Richter. Sommer and Rieger. We got Pingus, Leziak, Alex, and Barty under 2-4. Samuel, Ivnomain, Luis Gonzalez, Combs, and Gaydon under 2-5. And then 2-6 is Kiwi and Stewie Vaught. Stevan O'Stolen. Stevan O'Stolen. But looking at the groups, we have 2-6 as the last group here, and then Op4 is also 2-6. But you see that there's much bigger groups in the second half. But, I mean, 1-5 for Blue 4 is pretty massive compared to Op4. So I'd assume Op4 has a slight number advantage because Blue 4 seem to definitely be on the defending side. But we'll just have to see how this plays out. 15 seconds to go, and then the operation will pick off. Blue 4 are going to have to rush down to set up a defensive line down here. Op 4, we'll see if they do any flanking around again. OFCRA is an hour and 30-minute match. So we've got the first 30 minutes, which is our early game, which will start in 2, 1, and there we go. Mission is kicking off. So with that, first 30 minutes is the early game. Second 30 minutes is the mid game. Final 30 minutes is that end game. I'd imagine this operation is probably going to be done within the first, I'd say 60 minutes. This is a smaller map. Yes, there's room for Op4 to maneuver around, but the AO, it's fairly large, and Op4 doesn't really need a lot of time to deploy and develop their forces. Blue 4 don't need a lot of time to set up their defensive lines. They should have that. And no, this was in 1970s, so I don't think there is a famous Austrian painter in the area for Op4 to inquire services from, so we'll see how things go. And that timing that just came up, I think that's meant to be the local time of the server, so it's 6:30 in the morning, which is why we have this low lighting. It's not meant to be a 6.5-hour mission. That it's OFCRA is always an hour and a half long. Yeah, no, the only times you see 6 hours in PvP are very specialized events. I used to take a part in a few of them, and they are grueling. But regardless, we see Blue 4 deploying into the zone. They'll probably be sending their 2 pilots to get over to the UH-1, and we will see things go out. So, a few quick updates. Number 1, POG tonight will have a pay for pay, and it'll have a document, and that document will stay there throughout the entire campaign. So the entire campaign is pay for pay. And there's a lot of cool things I'll be showing off and releasing tonight to showcase it. But it'll also have its own deagle and all this other cool stuff going. But I'm being a bit secretive of it because I've done so many revisions to it because I keep having all these crazy ideas, which is why things keep getting pushed back on it. But we'll get to there. Second thing, which is tied to the third thing, if you scroll down, POG will be open in my Discord. Yep, I'm going to put the announcement out as soon as this OFCRA mission finishes. I just got to get POG's roster filled and then have the roster sent to my community, and then I'll put it up in the joint operations room. Speaking of, MCO is this weekend. Go sign up for that because it should actually, I think it opens up in 18 minutes for any non-taken slots. But regardless, second thing, if you scroll down, you'll notice 2 changes. 1, the schedule panel. I finally fixed that. I didn't realize it was broken. I honestly forgot it existed because Twitch never takes me to my own channel anymore. But I deleted all of it and just added the schedule we have in the Discord. So that'll take you right to the stream schedule, and that is updated every day. And the second thing you'll notice is a charity panel from my buddy Peeps. He's been basically making computers for veterans for the past 3 years, and he finally has all of his paperwork in order to make it an official charity. So he's been reaching out to streamers to put that little panel of information to help spread awareness, and I'm going to be helping him out, trying to get him not only some exposure, but in contact with some other YouTubers to spread what he is doing, because that man is awesome. He also offers free tech advice. He used to stream on Twitch, but Twitch kind of threw him out because Twitch is, no offense if Ian's here, but Twitch is kind of awful these days. And they didn't really, he kept trying to get partnered, and Twitch outright told him we don't want a charity streamer on our platform. So we moved over to Kick, and he's been doing fine on Kick ever since. So other than that whole fiasco, I mean, the guy is also a tech guru. He runs his own tech company as well. I mean, there's very few people out there that know what they're doing, but this man, he's got the experience, and I love watching him while I work. But regardless, if anyone has any information they want to DM me about it, I don't mind telling them more, but that is just a quick PSA, and you'll be hearing more about it throughout the next coming weeks anyway, so. Yeah, right, Zam? And that's the crazy thing. Twitch is making me agree with Zam, the resident troll of my channel. You know things are scuffed when I have to agree with that little chuckle fuck. All right, regardless, looking at the AO here, looks like OPFOR is partially deployed and are trying to send forces both to the right and left sides of the AO. We have a big chunk of infantry waiting in the field. I'd imagine this is to get their C-47 refueled, and then all these guys are going to go air assault. Meanwhile, looking over at Blue 4, they've set up a pretty hefty defensive line at the beginning of the Imposter 1 position. We also have a group coming over to the Imposter 2 position. I'd imagine Blue 4 is also fanning out to try to find this magical cargo box that they have to grab in 40 minutes. I wonder where it is. You know, it might just be right under our noses. Or in this case, our Zeus eyeballs. But anyway. So Blue 4 have a good setup here. We also have a lot of forces on the rear. I'd imagine these might be forces on reserve trying to get these ridge positions to overwatch them later, but that's a bit of a weird call from Blue 4. They can't really do any support from this far out considering their weaponry with limited optics, even though they've got some scoped FNFALs and they probably have some scope. Actually, technically for them it's L1A1s, and they would have some scoped Lee Enfields. They still don't really have the range to fire more than, I want to say, 500 meters unless you get really lucky with your vectoring. So we want to definitely see some more close CQC style action for these fights here, because long range, they're not going to be hitting much. They're not even going to be suppressing much. So we'll just have to see how things go. Broadshore giving Zam and Ham both a sub. Thank you so much, Broadshore. Hope you keep enjoying the operations, and hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. All right. OPFOR, meanwhile, moving in. I mean, they do have armed M113s and armed transport trucks to help them suppress Blue 4 positions as they advance, but I don't know. Looking at the AO, OPFOR definitely have chosen some pretty weird driving routes, and with this op being very small, I mean, I believe this is only like an 8x8 kilometer map. The only thing that's going to further stall them is the fact that the terrain really does suck. You're driving up sheer cliffs here, so of course that 113 is really going to struggle with it. You only want to bring those vehicles if you're going to be using the weapon platform on top of those vehicles. So, I don't know, man. I would follow it up by saying, well, that means they're probably going to use the support weapons on the vehicles, right, to engage, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they're just going to keep the vehicle maybe in reserve, pull back with it, move around with it, but it's tough to say. But you have to note that anything that's going to come on this right side, one, if they're going to be engaging this AO, they're going to run into being on a freaking sheer cliff with very limited mobility and possibly get picked off really easily. And two, there's a river. So even if they make it down the sheer cliff, there's still a river for them to cross, and that just gives a lot of opportunity for Blue 4 to find them and pick them off as they move. So OPFOR really don't want to be on the right side. Maybe have a single squad for Overwatch, which you actually see they've got two separate squads going in two different areas. So this is good for OPFOR because they'll at least give them some scouting data, but they're not overextending and putting more than they need to on this side because this is a death sentence if they try to move it in. They're keeping everything else on the left side of the AO with the river next to them so they don't have to ever cross it, and hopefully that'll be enough for them to smash through Blue 4's defensive lines. But they're making some pretty good ones along where the river kind of turns out, and then they're making a pretty good defensive line to cover the spawn box when they find it, and they also have the other imposter character under their control for defense. So we'll just have to see how things go. Hey, Broadshore, you do you, buddy. I understand people taking breaks from any sort of video games. I'm that type of gamer where I will take a break from something for, like, you know, a few months to a year, and then maybe come back to it and binge it for a few weeks. With the exception, of course, being Arma 3 and DayZ, because I need to play those to live. Arma 3 for my base income, and DayZ because, well, I like it when you guys mess with me, because it also pays for my taxes. Ha! But regardless, we'll have to see how things go. 294,000 points for the Australians, 206,000 for the Austrians. So a little bit on the defensive bonus. I get that. We'll just have to see how the rest of things play out. I feel like OPFOR, they could make a really nice spearhead and just puncture through Blue 4's defensive lines, because weirdly enough, Blue 4 have a defensive line and then don't have anything until the the rear, and they're fortifying this position. Like, I just saw that being dug, but I'm going to be honest, this is pointless. It is absolutely pointless to have a force up here because it's hard to see through the forest. I think maybe they're thinking, oh, yeah, just on the numbers, this will be 406. We have open areas here. We might be able to peer down. This is like a 300-meter drop-off. But in reality, especially with the weaponry they have, because this is 1970s era weaponry. It's just not going to be effective. This is just kind of falling on that Overwatch fallacy I like to bring in, where they have too many people just kind of watching the AO, rather than too many boots on the ground to actually hold the AO proper. So this force split might actually allow for OPFOR to properly spearhead through this first defense line. Yes, it's going to be costly, but then they've got all this open ground to pretty much hit the next sets of objectives here. And if things play out as they do, I mean, this force, they'll take heavy casualties, but they'll be able to take out these 2 imposters. They'll have the box locked down for their side commander to capture. That's 4 out of the 9 points right there. And then they'll keep going. They can then establish the cap zone. And then Blue 4 will be forced to try to counterattack it and probably be pushed back. So I feel like OPFOR has the advantage right now. Now, of course, this is all subject to, you know, maybe Blue 4 will rally their forces later. Maybe Blue 4 is putting their forces up here because they're thinking OPFOR is going to do this massive wide around attack, staying on the high ground and then start coming from the north. I don't see that being the case, though, because when we have a 40-minute objective closer to the enemy, I feel like that should be prioritized then, because if it's not, compared to an objective that's going to take the entire match to get to, you want to prioritize that objective, especially when its point value is tied for the greatest amount of points in a value.
Your test results are printing. Almost done. Okay, let's see. Yep, still a stinky nerd LCPL heart.
You know, it surprises me what you type in to make the bot make noises like that. And you know, that was pretty good, Wolves. I gotta give that one to you. Thanks for the 81-month resub. Good God, he's got one of the first badges. Him and Son of Shadow are the 2 guys I always see coming in with those first badges. Back with me when, God, we started, what, 7 years ago? 8 years ago? But 81 months. I mean, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 5. That's 3 months away from a 7-year anniversary sub. Good freaking God. Nonetheless, Wolves, thanks for all the work you do for me in moderation, and thanks for all the support over the years. I hope you keep enjoying the content, my friend, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. And Guru, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, some people have been here a while. I mean, I've come to realize that I am old. I am no longer the college student that started all of this back in 2017, 2016. I'm now college graduate man that has a garden and home brews and has a desk in a basement and lives under a Greek overlord that, you know, makes me wonderful charcuterie and beats me when she feels like it. Life's good. Life's good. Alright, regardless, we're still waiting on that OPFOR squad to deploy. Maybe they will run into this potential issue up here, but I think the infantry over here, I'm a little worried with how close they're starting to get to this Blue 4 defensive line, but we'll probably see a dismount soon, because if they drive, I don't see why they would drive right into these objectives. I don't see why they drive anywhere into the orange zone. I mean, it would be safe to think that Blue 4 has control of it. So the fact that I'm not seeing a vehicle dismount right here is a little worrisome, because this could show OPFOR fumbling early on and losing a lot of infantry needlessly. Now, you have a Blue 4 radio man calling this out. We've got OPFOR doing a little bit of dismounting here. I do appreciate seeing the weapon platforms mounted for ready and easy suppressive fire, but now we're seeing the units kind of breaking off together, and we've got a 1-1-3 with the full squad moving out on the left side. A little worried because now these groups are a little too far to support each other, which means that Blue 4 could potentially defeat OPFOR in detail here by taking out these weekend groups, because they've got a superior garrison to the forces assaulting in. So this will be tough. True, we have had instances with COG in the past charging in, but I'm going to be honest, I think I'm done with KOG. No hard feelings, it's just my Saturdays are going to something else now, and I was working with them Saturday, but now I've got this other thing to do, which is also a paid gig for me, so I offered Fridays to them, but they never got back to me, so I was like, alright. We'll see what happens, but I will keep you guys in the loop. Again, we updated the schedule button, and we also always have the schedule command, so you can use that to see what is going on. But Guardian, thanks for the 13-month resub, buddy. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. First contact started. Newton and Demovar exchanging shots. Neither of them able to tap each other. Parthius coming around. Diego spots him and starts putting some rounds down range as Parthius continues his movement. You gotta remember, these forests are quite thick on Vingeviston, so this is a finish map. Hence the name, but, I mean, we do have some pretty thick forests here to fight in. And we'll see if Parthius can come around. He looks a little confused on where the contact is. He might be thinking he's being engaged from a different angle. But, I mean, this could be a beautiful flank around. And funny enough, Demovar, I think, just got friendly fired by Wonder here. Based off of the blood splatter and trajectory of the shots, he was definitely friendly fired. So we're seeing some blue for accidentally shooting each other because they're confused on where the lines are. But we have another chunk of defenders here, now firing on OpFor's position. I think they're just firing through the smoke at this point, and OpFor is returning fire in kind. Ilvanek, I try to keep the Sundays free, as you gotta remind me when the next TBD is, and I will, again, do my best to cover it. But again, my schedule heavily fluctuates, buddy. All right. I really want to see Parthius as an explosive specialist get behind and throw some charges on OpFor. I think he'd be able to get away with that, and that would be terrifying. Alright, 1 second. There we go. So my right arm is still sprained. I was just adjusting the cushioning so my elbow could rest properly. I apologize for that. You know, sucks when you're injured on the job. But regardless, Parthius coming around. I still don't think he's identified this group right here, and they're about to literally fold onto his position. He still has no idea that there's a squad next to him. I don't know how he didn't realize that with the gunfight. But we've got OpFor rolling ones on their perception check here, but Parthius rolling even lower somehow. Super looks over, doesn't spot Parthius through the tree. Oh, come on. What is this? Super's confused. Parthius now pushing forward, runs around Vincenzo. What is this? What is this? This is the worst game of tag I've ever seen. What? And then Super gives up. What? How are you alive? You should not be alive right now. Alright, I forgot to write down my highlights. Writing sucks with this hand, but whatever. He still hasn't fired any shots. I think he's trying to line some up now. OpFor starting to advance and pushing on that position. He knocks out Iceman. Putting some shots on Dava. Unable to get the kill. Gets a kill there. Dava now suppressing the rear. Parthius puts his head up real quick because he's getting stuck on a rock. PID is one hell of a thing, man. I'm surprised he's not opening up with a grenade. The Spaghetti, I think, just shot at Super. This is wild, dude. I've never seen that much of a failure in PID. Like, no, I have. I'm just surprised he's not opening up with a grenade. He might not even have grenades. Gets that shot. Gets another shot. What on earth? It's pure luck that he was able to do that, I'm not gonna lie. But we've got a gray uniform versus a green. And I guess they just didn't know the other group's PID, but now you got Diedrich here coming down. And then we've got a group moving down to Imposter 2's position. Now, if they get one of the imposters but not the other, then neither side will score the points for it. But they're starting to suppress the buildings as they move in. Got Parthia still firing. I think you just got a double cap. These guys seem incredibly confused with what's going on. Diedrich coming around. I'm gonna laugh if he runs up and shoots Parthius, thinking he's an enemy. No, the man's still going. And he manages to clean them all up. That's just incredible. I'm just as confused as him. The other two guys that ran into him, and honestly everyone else that's dead watching that and spectator going, what the hell is going on? Alright, so Blue 4 firing up on Op 4 positions here, but the shots are a little wide. Actually, I stand corrected. It's because this guy he got picked off by that Blue 4 garrison. So they're trying to get Op 4 to come down the hilltop here. Op 4, though, I mean, losing an entire squad is devastating in the early assault. We do, however, have the C-47 up with a full squad within it. And these guys, I don't think are going to be waking up. Diedrich came up, didn't hit Parthius. We got this rifle squad right here. I guess waiting to see what these guys say, but they've now been pinned on this position. You got this squad coming around on the side. I'm wondering if these guys are going to potentially spot them. But the forest is just a bit too thick, but we'll check on that position later. And you've got this firefight going right now. Honestly, what we're seeing right now is just a lot of squads getting into 1v1s without any assisting squads coming in and assisting. Sorry, redundancy there. But we see this group trying to develop to come around, but this group's coming up to flank that position. So it's just a battle of mobility at this point. I'm waiting to see those two groups fight each other. Parthius, he ran up, got some double taps. I think he's up to like 5 at this point. Yep. Officially 5 with 2 additional... I'm not sure he got the knockout on Super, because I'm pretty sure Super got friendly fired in the confusion. But yeah, Blue 4 showing even with limited amounts of infantry because they have all the forces back here, they're still able to repel a good chunk of enemy forces here. Because you got 2 squads there, you have 2 squads there, 1 squad that got wiped here, and another squad here. So it's 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 6, but the defenders are winning. And as I predicted, Blue 4 was able to spot Op 4 moving around this side. And Op 4 in a lot of trouble because they don't have a lot of maneuverability here because they're on the side of a ridge. So we do have 1 KIA right here. And Blue 4 continuing to fire up and around this position. So that is going to be tough for that Op 4 group to get out of. I'm a little worried because now we got Parthius moving around over here. He could run into this squad and start picking them off as well, but he won't have a gunfight to work with in terms of distraction. But now this Op 4 group's come down. This Blue 4 group I thought was maneuvering to assist, but they've stopped short. And now you got these guys getting pinned by a closer rifle squad. And you see this Blue 4 element practically getting cut down here. They're getting some pickoffs though. You know, that would be quite interesting. If Op 4 had Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Blue 4 elements could have Emu Team 6. I agree, that would be an interesting call. Parthius gets knocked out. He has a 6th kill, though, which means I think he picked off someone up here. I'm trying to figure out, it's Alpha 2-1 and Alpha... No, that's all Alpha 2-1. Okay, so that's only 1 squad, not 2. But I don't know who he picked off in that spot. You got the remains of Alpha 2-2 pulling away. They're now a 4-man team. They took 2 KIA and 2 wounded, so they're at about 50% strength. But now you got Blue 4 moving up to counterattack, and they're going to be pushing this squad right here. Parthius has been taken out, I believe. Yep. But a squad wipe is a squad wipe. Rifle grenades firing up on that hill. AT firing on these 113s, but it looks like it missed. More rifle grenades firing down, landing right on top of wounded Blue 4 positions. I'm going to be honest, it is leaning into Blue 4's favor right now because you got this Op 4 squad taking some pretty heavy pickoffs here. Let's look at Blue 4. They've taken 1 KIA, that is low, but the Op 4 group has taken 2 KIAs. Their squad leader is the most important unit there because he has the radio to communicate with other squads. And I think these guys are going to continue to be picked off just because they're in unfavorable terrain. So we'll continue to see how that goes. We have an entire Op 4 squad that's been wiped. Half of a Blue 4 squad was wiped, but they're now reinforcing 2-3. That's going to give these 2 Op 4 squads maneuvering room to get to that position. And then you have an even fight right here. Op 4 have vehicles, yes, but Blue 4 have some numbers here. And they've got a pretty decent spacing on this side. But I just saw one Blue 4 guy get picked off as Op 4 have sent a few infantry on their right flank. Scrolling out to see the macro side of things, we have a truck driving over here. We have another squad deployed up here. Blue 4 still have their forces on the side. I think they're sending truck reinforcements up to potentially try to assist on the Imposter 2 position. And we still have that C-47 kept very sneakily in the back line with the full squad of Op 4 ready to deploy at a moment's notice. Your pilot is Suck. Techo, buddy, if you are playing on the mission, though, you can't be on the stream. Even if you're stuck just doing nothing. I'm sorry, man. Otherwise, you'll probably get in trouble. I'm just warning you. Regardless, Op 4 doing their best to hold. They're off of the gun. I can't tell if we have a wounded guy in here. Oh, no, he was waiting for the gun to reload so he could get back on it. Got some blind suppression going in, but he's just drawing fire to his own position there. Blue 4 still trying to advance on the 3, Op 4 to the right side. And now you got Op 4 coming down on the Imposter's position. I'd assume the Imposter has been shot. I can't find him on his mark. So again, I am going to assume he was killed. Gee, I wonder why he's called the Imposter. Huh. Regardless, he's been taken off. And we got grenades being exchanged back and forth. If we can get a long throw right on Blue 4, that would be devastating. Speaking of devastation, oh, we got one guy blown away. These guys in the low ground, though, that makes it really difficult for them to throw grenades back, but receiving grenades can be tough. And we have another player blown away as Op 4 advancing this squad to make an L-shaped ambush on this remaining Blue 4 garrison. Meanwhile, looking at this other fight, Blue 4 have not had quite a few people knocked out. Op 4 definitely took a few casualties in that fight. I'd say they're trading evenly. Looking on this side, Op 4 was able to push forces down. They're going to run into a small Blue 4 garrison, but this is the fearsome side of things right now. This group is about to pretty much L-shape ambush and eliminate this element right here. Grenade comes down. It detonates a little early. Too early to get Killer, or too late to get Killer, but too early to get everyone, or too late to get everyone else. God, getting tongue-tied there. Now it's just a matter of can any of the Blue 4 elements hold against this southern advance. Blue 4 down to 4. And they started with 2 whole squads. Oh, I stand corrected. 3 more pulled away back here. A grenade gets thrown. Duetson might get blown away from that. He gets knocked out. Killer gets shot by Object. Another grenade goes out. Will it get a good bounce? It does not, and it falls short. Blue 4 have 2 guys holding over here, and they've actually been able to repel a good chunk of the Op 4 on the western side. Now forcing Op 4 to really only push from the south. Stymie, thanks for the 23-month resub, broski. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. 1 RW all dead. You know, they haven't taken a single KIA yet, but that's because they're all the way over to the east doing a massive outflank. So Blue 4, we have a bit of a counter action coming around over on the right side here. And now we're waiting. Hold up. 2 Blue 4 trucks just drove right into an OFCRA ambush. The gun car gets absolutely picked apart. The other car making a break for it. Just where OFCRA was falling apart in one direction, they deliver a very decisive blow to Blue 4 in another. Only one guy remaining, that is Lewis. And he is getting sighted and shot off. I think they're just shooting at the vehicle instead. Nope. And he gets picked off through a tree over there, as well as some flanking shots there. So an entire Blue 4 element wiped out in the span of 15 seconds. Meanwhile, you got Blue 4 behind OFCRA. He quickly tries to run away, though, as he's engaged from 2 separate directions. He took quite a few shots to go down. Holy shit. But that Blue 4 group has also been wiped. Scrolling up to see everything. This Blue 4 element seems to have bounced back, though, and is starting to repel that OFCRA element. I think because their medics are doing a great job. We got 3 Blue 4 on the opposite side of the river to the east, though. All have been knocked out. They had a 4th member, too, who was KIA. And I'm surprised that the Ridge Force is being that effective. You're seeing some double taps on the bodies here. They're making sure they all stay dead. But Blue 4 are really hurting on numbers right now. So they got the helicopter ready to go, and they've got an entire transport truck coming in. But OFCRA really bounced back after those initial losses. That nice little play with the L-shape attack on those 2 squads, that ambush on a full enemy squad without taking a single KIA, I mean, that pretty much gave back the losses they took in the initial fight where they lost the entire squad. But OFCRA, you also have to remember, they still have an entire plane worth of dudes to deploy in the AO at a moment's notice. I think you're going to start seeing them land in a second. It is going to be a Lalo insert right on top of the AO. Very bold, but with Blue 4 so spread out, I'm not surprised. And I'm going to be honest, from here, Blue 4, because they had 2 squads on this ridge, there's nothing they could really do about this one spot. Wait a second. Hold on. They're all dead. They're all dead. Ha. So here's my theory. In Arma 3, the default altitude, not altitude, but you have to have the aircraft at least 100 meters above the ground to give the forces the paratrooper animation. So what I'm willing to bet is they were below 100 meters when they started getting people out, because they all have parachutes. I saw them, yeah. So I'm willing to bet they flew too low, didn't trigger the parachute animation, and got everyone killed. That is what I'm betting happened there. So OFCRA wiping a squad due to the ground. I love it. But I still think OFCRA have a pretty decisive advantage here. That's funny. So that means everything down on the ground is what you see at this point. We do have 1-2 over here, and I think they're a squad of 6. Got 2-3 coming around on the northern side. OFCRA also are going to be able to get control of the box, which is, funny enough, just right down here. And we're going to be entering the 40-minute mark in 7 minutes because you have the 8 minutes of safe start added to that timer. And Tekko did say he was part of the plane crew, and scrolling up, he does say that something like that happened. So, yeah, if you have a link, feel free to post it, especially if it's of your POV. That's pretty funny. God, I cannot write with my right hand. I'm right-handed, but I sprained it. My penmanship is absolutely horrible. They're being respawned. Ah. Why should they be respawned? So I guess the admin has decided to pity them and respawn them for the pilot's error. I find that hilarious, though. But yeah, feel free to go look at that clip to get some context. But my god, even if OPFOR didn't have that additional squad being respawned, I think they have it. You're going to see the northern groups hit these northern imposter sites. This group is probably going to secure that cargo crate. These blue 4 elements probably going to pull back to Imposter 1. These elements going to hold Imposter 3 and Imposter 4. OPFOR, meanwhile, going to hold everything over here. They were dropping like 30 meters above the ground. Yeah, that's not going to trigger the parachute animation. You can see them slowly getting respawned and then teleported over. Now we have a truck driving up of Alpha 1-3. This is another squad driving right up to OPFOR elements. Oddball, you have an AT4. Use it. Please use the AT4. AT4. Oddball. Oddball. AT4. AT4. Oddball, please. Yes. Wow, that thing's bouncy. Philip jumps out. He's prepping the AT4. He still has a good angle. Rocket's going in. Truck stopped. Oh, there it is. It was a little late. Most of the infantry were able to bounce out, but at least he disabled the vehicle. Now these guys are going to be pinned. Another RPG goes out, gets a knockout, and we have a pretty nasty OPFOR ambush here, but Blue 4 might be able to bounce back because now they'll be able to start looking up the hill. There's only a few OPFOR shooters. Well, actually, 4 is not a few. And funny enough, Dewitson's taking friendly fire from the OPFOR element up there, so Blue 4 have a chance to be turned around here. Most of that squad has been ambushed. They're abruptly taken out. OPFOR, Cedo getting taken out by this large Blue 4 group over here that's moving around to engage them. 1RW still staying super low on the far northern side. This group going to go up and hit Imposter 6 and then probably move into Imposter 5. OPFOR is going to have great control of the cap zone. Where are OPFOR's commanders? Font and Ratpick back there, but I think they're going to start driving in to try to claim the box over here. Blue 4 have no chance to get the box. How is their commanding officer here? One is in the helicopter. Wombat is on the ground close to the box. He might wait for OPFOR to move away, and you might be able to slip in and take it, but that's going to be incredibly risky. You got Oddball trying to move in, closing some distance here to pick off whoever's still alive. He has picked up a Blue 4 gun, but this man is on 8 kills right now. That is incredible. And then that one vehicle kill he picked off. And then the rest of Blue 4 are picked off by additional forces up on the ridge. Absolutely brutal. Montes with 3 kills. Audrey Sip on 2. Defroy on 2. Brixie was on 3. Settler on 1. I mean, it's absolute ambush territory here. And I don't know why OPFOR has been so good at it. But that is the second ambush we've seen them execute where they've had either no KIAs or maybe 1 or 2 KIA. But, I mean, there was a near friendly fire instance, but I'm not sure other than that if anyone actually died compared to Blue 4. We see, though, that Blue 4 have been working on other elements here. So at this point, we just got to wait and see. And you still got the 47 coming up. They're not allowed to, but I would laugh my ass off if the 47 ran down the helicopter. All right. I mean, from here, Imposter 6 is probably dead. I'll go ahead and check on him. I think as I just came in, they just, yeah, he's freshly ragdolling, so they just killed another imposter. Again, they don't score points for the imposters unless they get both, but they deny points for Blue 4 if they get at least one of them. Hold up, this OPFOR group, we could see a nice sandwich ambush here. Some of OPFOR engaged, and I think that's because the commander is desperately trying to get forces to secure the crate area so he can capture it. But Alpha 1-3 and Alpha 1-5, I mean, together, they've scored at least 2 squads worth of kills. On the survivors, we have 6, 9, 11, 20, 21 kills between all of the remaining survivors, though we are seeing people starting to get picked off. So these are definitely veteran troops right now. Oh, but they're fighting people like Swola, Zixme, Sky Online. These are some really heavy hitters here. And I think Swola just picked one of them off. And now we wait. What's up, hon? You sent me a message? What is it? I'm a little busy. I would absolutely love to get Moby Dick tonight. Why? I had Silver Diner with my father earlier, remember? Sorry, hon. Thank you, honey. I need to continue this, but thank you for dropping by.
I'm gonna continue with your nose.
Honey, if you bite my nose, I can't see the screen. I can't commentate what's going on. Please, madam, I am trying to do my job as an innocent streamer. No. Alright, so Op4 have started counter-attacking this position, pushing Blue 4 to the north. We see the Blue 4 southern element coming in. Why are you holding the glass? No, there's no... Okay, there isn't hydrate, but you don't have to be evil. Hey, hey, no, no. Ah. You're a monster. Okay, tongue-tied there. So Zixme, he's pulled back a bit, trying to pick Montes off. Unable to land the shot with that scoped Lee Enfield on Montes. What's up? Yeah, you can order now. Yeah. I hope. Timing-wise, I should, yeah. So go ahead and order it now. Swola taken out. Oh, she waterboards me all the time when people do the hydrate when she's around. That's just a meme at this point. Wombat trying to sneak around the group. He knows if he can secure the crate, he's got a decent chance, but Oddball, he knows how important this crate is. He's got 9 kills. He's definitely the kill leader right now. So they're at least holding a group back, but there's an entire Blue 4 element that can now hit that position. And I don't know where Op4's commander is. They're on foot back there with some units, so that's a tough call. Helicopter, meanwhile, flying just over this position. They're trying to get some scouting data right here, but Blue 4 now on this little ridge, doing their best to overwatch. We can see where Blue 4 have died up here earlier from this Op4 element, but now they're in a tough spot because they've been dragged up north, and then other forces have stayed behind, and they've pretty much divided themselves. You see that Op4 are getting some good kills here, but will it be enough? Brixie taking some really nasty grenades right on top of his position. More grenades going around. And did you just... Oh, it's a smoke. I was about to say, you did not just frag yourself. Oh, there's the frag. I think Oddball's dead. Watts, the only survivor remaining. Oddball is heading in on 9 kills. Blue 4 moving down. I think Watts just got a 2nd kill. Yep. More grenades coming in on that position. Newitson's probably going to get double tap. Watts dodging fire in the tree from Mr. Cool. There's the double tap on Dewitson from the grenade. And Op4 trying to turn their forces around to hold that, and Wombat's crossing to try to come around. You see that Gazaga's come around. He just friendly fire killed a Blue 4 element that was pinning Watts down. So Watts being given a bit of a reprieve. He's now maneuvering around. Could run into a few different players here. Mr. Dave pulls behind a tree. Does some suppression. Watts being fired on by Nubas on the rear. And Nubas lines up the shot because he had an MG3. And it was only a matter of time before he lined that shot up. All right, Blue 4 have control of the box now. That box, again, worth 3 points. But Op4 now rushing over. It is the commander close to the box now. He is going to try to get control of that box before Wombat can come around. He's waiting for it to be completely safe. He might lose his opportunity, though, if Op4 decides to counterattack that position. I'm going to struggle for a second. I want to write that grenade timestamp down because it was funny, but again, really hard to write when you have a sprained arm. Op4, I think they picked everybody up and they're gonna now deploy people? No, they're already on the ground. Okay, so I guess they finally did it correctly, and 2-3 is on the ground securing this position, hitting the other imposter positions as well. Gazog firing at Zixme. Zixme's gonna have no choice but to drop him. I think he just noticed it was a friendly, but he's gonna be really confused about that. Wombat being moved in, but if he gets picked off by Gerald or Audrey Sip, that'll be it. But we do have a 1-1-3 coming up. That is a full squad of 7. Wombat might hear that, though, and try to pull away, and then you got OPFOR Command holding back. Even if Blue 4 gets the box, I think they're going to be still in the game. If OPFOR gets the box, it's GG to OPFOR. That all stinges on whether or not Wombat survives. You've got the 240 suppressing. However, they are taking flanking fire from up the ridge. The gunner, I think, immediately folded in to not get picked off. Wombat might try to sneak around from the north, but there is an OPFOR garrison on this ridge. And it's very tense right now. Wombat's going to go for it. He's going to run right into that 3-man garrison. I think he just saw him. Potentially just called it up as well. I mean, this is a tough call in Wombat's shoes. Does he draw attention and try to pick him off, knowing that if he dies, he's not going to be able to keep his team in the game? Or is he going to go for it? I think I just said the same thing twice. Or is he going to sneak around? Let's go with that. But does he do the smart thing and open with a grenade first? Looks like he is. It's a good throw. It's a little short, though. That's oh my god, this man. That was absolutely incredible. The man just scored a triple kill. And pretty much opened the door for him to get to it. That was a great call. He is not going to know he got those 3 kills. But on review, I mean, that was textbook. Has one grenade go off, pushes them all to the right. Has a second grenade go off in that direction. He pushes them into the grenade, gets all 3 of them. It's little plays like that that really show who the good PvPers that think about things are. Can you imagine if people that were behind squads of infantry started with that? A few well-placed grenades? They would be so much more effective if they just thought like Wombat. And various other players I've seen make calls like those. So, beautiful call there. I am going to attempt to write that timestamp down. Thankfully, it's just 0s and 1s, so I don't have to move my hand much on that one. Rat Pick, I think, being ordered to go for it. We do still have some Blue 4 defenders along it. Wombat, though, advancing. He's checking the bodies on this ridge. He's looking around, making sure he won't get picked off. Throws a frag. Nope, it's a smoke. And he's running for it. Runs another smoke. Throws a third smoke. And he's going for the box. He earned it with those grenade throws, in my opinion. Mr. Dave coming down to provide local assistance. Good call. I don't know how long that capture timer is. Probably 30 seconds to a minute. But OPFOR pretty much stuck right here. However, this has opened up Imposter 1 position. The Imposter 1 position, so now OPFOR can take him out. So I feel like this is going to be a moment for Blue 4 where they've won the battle, but they're still going to lose the war, if that makes any sense. And I'll explain why in a moment as I scroll out to see the macro here. You got a Blue 4 group here and a Blue 4 group here, but look at all the other OPFOR groups. 5 groups to 2 at this point. This is worth 3 points. That final capture zone's worth 3 points. The 2 groupings of imposters are each worth 1 point. OPFOR is going to score the first point by taking out Imposter 1 because they took out Imposter 2. I know 5 and 6 are dead, and I know 4 is at least dead. Not sure if 3 is dead. But that means Blue 4 can't score any points, and Blue 4 has secured the box. So 3 points down for them. But at this rate, you're going to have OPFOR take this 3-point zone And then they've gotten 2 points from the imposters, and Blue 4 can't even score a point. So the final score is probably going to be 3-5 in Op4's favor. But still, great plays by Blue 4 to make Op4 fight to the end here. Ratpick gets grenaded before he can get to the box. The only other player that could have potentially captured it. So let's have a check here. You're trying not to what? I'll make you cookies when I'm done, okay? So there's the other imposter dead. Honey? Honey, I will just cook you some cookies after this. Since I'm a cripple, I can make you cookies.
Enemy squad, west.
Why order cookies when I can make you cookies, woman? I will make you big and fat. They will not last several days. You will eat them within an evening. Bullshit. Alright, regardless, Op4 firing at some Blue 4 element. No. You do what you want with your money. I'm streaming, so I can't say the really mean things. Anyway. She just goes, wait, what? She stares at me. I can't stop my fiance from ordering what she wants. Can you get some cookies? Hobbs, you do whatever you want with your money. Drink? I'm out of water, so... Well, they're trying to get me to hydrate, but it's out of water, so... No, you don't have to go get me more water, honey. I'm fine. Thank you. Ah, you know, there really is no need, honey. Oh, I'm not doing... No, I insist, babe. It's fine. Anyway, Op4's final group here. Excuse me, Blue 4's final group to the south. Now having Op4 reinforcements coming from the north and the south. Another group coming in as well. And Blue 4 just getting picked off left and right here. Ash circumventing an Op4 battle line. And you got 3 Blue 4 survivors up here as well, including their commander who just scored. And then Lesiak, the only one still up on this far side, and then the far right corner. Up to the north, we have Roy DeCamper putting his weapon on his back, and he is just walking back at this point. Interesting call. Regardless, last Blue 4 group appears to be a squad in a platoon, not platoon, a squad line. Actually, a squad column. A line would be the other, be perpendicular. But Blue 4, I think, are down to less than 12 men. You've got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, 15. The line is deceptive on the symbolism. Then Break his back and said, yeah, remember when she did a posture check on me and she nearly snapped something? That was a worrisome stream. Nothing, love you. Nothing, love you. You almost sent me to the cryopractor. She just responded with, honey, I can break your back anytime. And now I'm quite scared. Gazog with the massive -2 kills and -1 vehicle kill. The man is on a killing spree. Except it's the wrong team. But can he redeem himself? He's got a full group of Op4. Slim picking, not slim, the opposite of slim. There's 1. So I'm going to be using later. There's 2. He is now on 0. And there's Bloodwind with the one. Oh. Yes, it's put in the fridge where it cools. Heart goes down. Kazak continuing the fight. Drops Raven. Throws a grenade out. Gazog's redemption arc is going quite well right now. Thank you, honey. Grenade is thrown a little wide. Can he realize there's some enemies right to his left and immediately engage them? Grenade is thrown again. He's not really aiming these grenades, though. So these are, I think, V40s going really, really far. Those are meant to be offensive grenades. He needs to be using defensive grenades when he's this close with the enemy. But it looks like he is looting bodies for more grenades. Good call. I mean, grenades are definitely the weapon of choice to use here with OFCRA so spaced out and so many of them existing. He drops Eric. Attempts the double kill. Some OFCRA are starting to get alerted of Gazog's presence. Maybe he can get some friendly fires here as well, but he is definitely on full adrenaline right now, just guessing where OFCRA is at the moment. This is opening up other elements to come in and attack this large group of units here. A grenade gets thrown up and correctly guesses where Gazog is. OFCRA attempting to push with more grenades. Thankfully, the tree being in the way is going to absorb some of that shrapnel so Gazog can bandage. OFCRA having a grenade thrown down to their position of their own. Gregory has the rock in the way, so that saves him. But Gazog doing a great job of disengaging fast and hard right now, as he has a massive OFCRA element climbing up to his position. Raven doing some blind fire. Zixme with the marksman rifle laying in wait. He's made a sandbag for himself, and he's resting this weapon on the sandbag. That's funny. I mean, Gazog could very well be kiting OFCRA. Leziak looks like he was just taken out. Gazog continuing to bait things up. Getting into a one-on-one with Depso. Depso throwing the grenade. Oh my god, Depso I think just got him with a bolt action. Yep. Depso drops him with one shot with a Kar 98. And the grenade double taps, inflicting additional wounds. Zixme coming around. Can the Lee Enfield sniper do anything here? More Blue 4 coming in. This was the group coming around on the northern side. You got Royd staying in the AO. You got the helicopter up there.
Am I the only one alive?
Zixme wondering if he's the only one alive. I mean, that's not true. Wombat's around, but he's the commander, probably not on their short range. Headshot for Zixme. Knockout for Zixme. Quick reload.
Yes, but I'm gonna die.
No! Way! No way! No freaking way! Did he just perfectly time his own death? What a way to go. I agree with that call. Wow. All right, let's do a quick imposter count, shall we? You gotta love Arma 3 and its impeccable timing. This imposter appears to be dead. How's imposter 3? Because that one, I think, is the only one that OFCRA didn't get units around to. Nope. All the imposters are dead. Let's check imposter 1. I think we already checked him, but for the sake of keeping everything clear, he's dead. Imposter 2 is definitely dead. I think he was found in a shed, which doesn't even exist anymore. But I know I saw him killed off earlier, so... Pretty sure he was in that shed, which his body's been despawned. But regardless, he's dead. Imposter 5 definitely dead, because OPFOR are right next to the buildings. They're even fortifying the buildings. Hollywood levels of foreshadowing. Yeah. Zixme, man, he's got the skills. He's dead. And then number 6, I think we were also checked, but to confirm, I mean, we checked on him just as he was getting shot, yeah. So that is 3 points to Op 4. Blue 4 have 3 points. Final 3 points are going to be for control of this final purple zone. You've got Op 4 kind of sweeping around. Wombat under pressure. Can Wombat channel his inner Audrey Hotto and defeat the entire squadron of Op 4 trying to come around and eliminate him? Let's find out. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at another group of Blue 4. Every time. Hey, I'm nailing the timing there. Now to try to write the timestamp. Oh my god. Wombat has been ejected. Alright, I mean, it's GG. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Op 4 have a single squad and I think 2 people in a helicopter. No, 1 person in a helicopter, and that's it. Op 4 have their full command team, the C-47, 1 squad, 2 squad, 3 squad, 4 squad, 5 squad, 6 squad. Some are partial, some are even at full strength. And now we just have to wait and see, because Op 4, I guess, have to sweep this final zone. There are 30 minutes left on the clock, and I'm going to be honest, if dinner gets here, I am going to go have dinner. So, how's everyone's day? Checking with Ghost Wolf here to get 1 more stream because his server's closing down, so I'll be getting at least 1 or 2 DayZ streams with him over the next 5 days, which is great. And then after this wraps up, I'll be putting Pog up. Alright, and then I'll get slotting sorted for MCO as well, but it's pretty much GG. Here's what I'm going to do. If we don't see any attempts for Op 4 to move to this position or Blue 4 to move to Op 4, I'm just going to mercy rule it. Because at this point, Op 4 is just going to wait around. It's going to go to numbers. Blue 4 have, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people in the zone. Op 4 have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Wow, hadn't
6, 7,
realized
8,
it's
9,
been
10,
this
11.
long.
And then they got 3 immediately on the outside, and then they got another like 20 to bring in. Blue 4 landing their vehicle in, though. That's going to make it 11 to 11, but at the same time, I mean, Op 4 have all of these guys to push in. I don't know why they're going up the ridge instead of pushing to the purple zone, but who the heck knows at this point. Nonetheless, Ash Elliott, thanks for the 45-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. For that new DayZ server will be public. So Ghost Wolf has been hosting. I just saw the 47. That's funny. Ghost Wolf's is private to me, but that one's closing. The current one, which is Razor's Chernobyl one, that one's public. That one's just tied to my Discord. I've heard rumors of another DayZ server coming up. I don't know anything beyond the rumors. I don't know what it's going to be about. All I know is I broke a tiebreaker on what the map would be, so we'll get there if we get there. Been building a Marine's helmet from Aliens. Nice. Have you been building out a foam Rakaneko or like 3D printing it? Yeah, so helicopter's just kind of messing around. I'm waiting to see if the plane... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't think he's actually gonna ram him, but you know, it would be pretty based. That's the second near miss. Are the parts for the steel base and forgot the type of plastic? Nice. All right, that's some heavy duty stuff right there. Just make sure it's resistant to xenomorph blood, and then you'll be good, right? Oh, I agree. I think someone's going to do something silly, and there's going to be a mid-air collision, because, you know, as you said, the more you F around, the more you'll find out. Playing circling around, it's going to make another pass. But yeah, my checklist is literally going to be sort MCO, get the sort MCO, sort the scheduling and slotting for the POG op tonight, finish up the POG document, get that all posted away. I'm going to shoot for 7 o'clock if you come up here in the chat and type X. Okay, no, because I'll have to control it by taking off of emote only. When you see this channel go off of emote only, try typing in !P4P, and you should see a very nice document. A little worried with Pupper because I feel like he's playing chicken with this mountain. Liru, don't jinx it. What are you talking about? I want to see it happen. I want to see it. Maybe another Lono op? A freaking Lono drop? Low altitude? No opening. It's okay, it only costs like an entire squad, right? But you gotta think about the lessons that were learned along the way. Ah, gotcha, Ghost Wolf. I was wondering what that tiebreaker was. So, alright. Yeah. No, I'm all for it, buddy. Because we only have 5 more days to work on the rest of this month's and the beginning of next month's additional operations to schedule. And then we'll be putting the rest of the D goal into pay for pain related stuff for Thursdays. And then the next D goal for ops will open up by the time we schedule all of the previous sessions ops, which won't happen until I want to say the beginning of May. Or at least like after the first week of May, because we have the Stargate ops to schedule in as well, and I want to get those on the board. So we'll see how things go. I think he just landed it. Yeah, I don't know how... Is there any transport for him to take to get up there, or is he just going to be out of the game? He's going to be out of the game, yeah. Maybe got yelled at because he kept flying really close to that little bird. But yeah, you got this massive OFCRA group coming in. I mean, this is GG. Gotcha, Ghost Wolf, gotcha. Okay. Well, either way, I mean, I love doing DayZ for you guys to then mess with me, because I feel like that lets you guys get me back for all my horrible, evil Zeusing, right? Wink. When did you say that Stargate Out was going to be happening? So I would like to start dev work for it tonight or tomorrow night, and then get it scheduled for weekends. We just have to see, because my schedule is getting very, very jam-packed. If it isn't Saturdays, I want to at least do 1 or 2 out of the 4 on Saturdays, and the others might be Tuesday, just with how things are falling, but I also have to do it on specific ops where I want more players or less players, but we'll see. But if you want to join that op, just join the Discord and get an ARMA tag and just wait for the op to be announced. We'll do it when we do it. But I'm thinking for next month, we'll put Gate back on the menu. And we'll cap the other communities to, I think, 2 ops max, and then we'll just schedule additional fun ops just to add to the schedule. I think that's going to be a fair fit. So we just saw some shooting over here. Winter and Krebs, I guess they thought they saw something skylining and engaged it. Now we have this massive OPFOR horde that's going to pretty much come in. Sam, meanwhile, landed north. Either up here at his original spawn point or somewhere around here, and he's going to try to move in on his own. I'll wrap this up by 5 o'clock, but, I mean, that's going to be close to the time anyway. Shark, I might bring that back. It just depends on who's on. Sometimes it's really nice, sometimes it's not, but, I mean, depending on if it's Razor server and there's people on, then I might bring that option back. Because I have 2 separate menus now, so. Oh, Sam caught on a ridge. He gets shot twice. And he's taken out. Yeah, that's tough. You're in an open spot on a ridge where you can't really maneuver. You're kind of SOL there. Quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these guys taking that zone, these guys in the rest of that sector, it's John, it's GG. Oh, he took off again, that's funny. Unfortunately, now there's not a helicopter for him to hit. What a shame. And I think he realized upon landing there were no vehicles, so his best bet might have been to find a parachute and just jump out. Or just to practice his flying. Or well, no, I saw OFCRA driving the refuel truck up here, so that was their only refueling Vic, so I don't think he was refueling at all here, so. 20 minutes left, but Blue 4 are just going to stay on this southern corner as OFCRA eventually moves in and pushes them out. I got this perfect little trench right here for someone to come up and start taking pot shots at Blue 4. You have grenade rifle rounds landing around here. One Blue 4 picked off. We're taking some return fire. Grenades being thrown down onto the territory. They're going to go... Wow. Actually, right on top of that position, just had a rifle grenade fly into the building here. It didn't do damage, though. These remaining 4 Blue 4 aren't pinned. This additional Blue 4 element trying to come up. OFCRA immediately to the left trying to fold in as well. Grab doing some medical. The last of the Australian forces trying to rally. Get that other squad to assist there, trying to deliver some suppressing fire. But it is off target, and this OFCRA squad is now coming in to assault them directly. Blue 4 has a wounded Natha trying to come around on the right side to deliver some flanking fire. We do see some OFCRA casualties starting to form. Snowbus has rounds going right over his head. Shorts in. See that OFCRA continuing to push this area here, though most of that group was taken out. You see him on Overwatch right here. Grenade getting thrown right on Parzel's position, but thankfully the Clumsa would take it. Dymic now pushing this position. There's only 2 Blue 4 left alive. Once they fall, that Blue 4 group is going to get pincered. One gets taken out by the AUG there. Grenade gets overthrown. Krebs gets Isdek as more OFCRA come up. Snowbush trying to get the double tap. That grenade might get him. It was a smoke grenade, though. Dymic tries to get Krebs in the rear. Follows him in and drops him point blank. Snowbush almost gets the friendly fire. And they call that as clear. Now the rest of the fighting is being done outside of the sector. 4 Blue 4 remaining on the field. Queens here trying to hold. I think you just got a good OFCRA pick off there. Dragon Ghost, you are very late. We're seeing Blue 4's last stand of 4 players. Parzel firing up at Queens. Or is it Quiness? I don't know. Some of these wordings, man. He takes more friendly fire and gets dropped by Altrix. OFCRA now honing in on this position. The last 3 blue 4 that are up with a 4th wounded. You gotta love it's sneaking a little bit of friendly fire at the end. You know, I'm sure it'll be fine. One of them's got a shoddy too.
Oh, my bad.
So we got a Sterling, a shoddy, and an L1A1. Vanessa had the M16. 4 shots going here as OPFOR push forces around. I'm waiting to see if Tymek with 4 kills is going to move with Depso on 3. And I can't tell if there's some red on red going on over here as well. Os on Os strikes again. But they're both Os. It's Austria and Australia. That's the whole point of the conflict. Parzival is a medic, so he could bring Knauss back up. Mr. Hart now pinning down Bravo here. Bravo returning fire with his shotgun with slug rounds. Actually landing fairly accurately on that window, forcing him to pull back. You can see the impacts back here. No, only the Austrians have the Strayer AUGs. Blue 4 have the M16s. OPFOR coming around, and Parzival drops him. Andre coming up, though. Snoba's trying to come up the front, though, with the FNFAL.
Ja jestem w środku tego smoka, nie wiem,
We got the MG3 now tearing through that position. That's forcing Blue 4 to push north. And that's going to push these guys right into Pierce. Is he firing at his own plane? I saw tracers going up. Odd. I know, right? Pierce, not in an open field, so it's not his natural element. Instead, he looks to the only open terrain he can find, the river. Clearly, that's where OPFOR is hiding. Smoke concealing Quiness's body. Parzival starts firing, gets a knockout on an OPFOR member here. This gives the OPFOR on the side an ability to flank. Can Pierce save the day? Nope, Pierce is infatuated with the river. But Blue 4 also seem to be pushing towards it. Did Pierce realize Blue 4 wasn't at the river? Pierce. Maybe he'll figure it out. Depso getting a shot on Parzival. It was only an arm shot, though. Mancho coming in, head honcho of OFCRA. Exchanging fire with Parzival. Parzival getting picked off by Flip for Flap on the far right. Risbo also opening up. Arthiak was also in the open as well. Parzival down. Bravo and Altrix here pulling away. J-Sam coming around. And Pierce is hiding. Multiple Blue 4 starting to close in. Excuse me, multiple OPFOR, but Blue 4 is pushing. Pierce pulling away from fighting. Remember, Pierce is a pacifist. Damn, I think Sam just got the snipe. And can Bravo channel his inner Audrey Hotto? Can Pierce channel his inner Audrey Hotto and realize he just bypassed the remaining Blue 4 players? Double taps by Sam. What does that say? Outlaw Company? All right.
Oh, maybe a grenade.
See you in hell. I like it. All right, Bravo. Show my 7 viewers what you got. That's a grenade. I'd laugh if that got in Parzival and double tapped, and I would have gone, yeah, friendly fire. Let's go. Wait, Sam, Bravo isn't finished. Hart's getting into a fight with Timek.
Frenzy! Frenzy!
Wait for it. 1RW's forces are confused. They see an enemy behind them but don't realize it's an enemy. Oh. I see. So Bravo wanted to do a sick front flip and break his neck before Pierce got him. You know what? I understand. Anyway, that is it, guys. We will be back at 8 o'clock. Again, when you see the emote only thing come off, that is going to be announcing the pay-for-pay doc is ready. But I will see you guys in 3 hours. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good one. Let's get that prediction paid out. Clearly, the Austrians won.